Hi, it's Janice here, and this week in between rounds, I'm going to take you through a mobility series that is perfect for your morning routine, but truthfully, this is something that you can do at any time throughout the day. You don't need any equipment, you just need some space and perhaps a mat. So we're gonna start by laying on our back. So make sure you've got enough room for your body. You're gonna be on your back with your knees bent. I want you to put your arms out to the side because it's really important you keep your shoulders and arms on the ground. We're gonna lift our legs up and we're gonna windshield our legs from side to side. So I'm gonna drop those knees to one side and I'm gonna make sure that my opposite shoulder right here and arms stay on the ground. I'm gonna come up and move to the other side with a controlled movement, making sure again that opposite shoulder and arms stay down. Alternate back to that first side. Bring it over again. And we're gonna do one more on each side. So again, slowly bring that up. We're trying to twist that spine as much as we can. So our knees come down, but opposite shoulder stays where it is. So this is our last time on that second side. Come back to center. You can bring those feet back on the ground. We're gonna move into a glute bridge position. So I want you to drive your hips up. So you're squeezing your glutes, driving those hips. So we're trying to get a bit of length through the front of our hips. And then from here, we're gonna do a march. So I want you to lift your right leg up and you're still going to drive that hip up. Slowly lower your right leg and then lift your left. Give it a little extra drive in case your hip lowered. We're alternating legs, making sure there's a nice straight line from our knee to our shoulder. Squeeze those glutes. So we're activating our glutes while we lengthen through our hips. The opposite to the position we spend most of our day at our computer sitting. Make sure you're breathing. We've got one more on each side. Make sure those hips are still high. Don't let them drop. And from here, you can lower. I want you to flip over. We're gonna be in almost a frog position, similar to your child's pose with your knees out wide, feet in close. And I want you to really sink back into that hip stretch. So arms are overhead, sink back into that stretch. Try to get your chest as close as it can to the ground. So lengthen, a lot of lengthen through here. And then what I'll have you do is from here, tuck your bum under. So we're gonna try to get rid of that little bit of an arch that you may have in your lower back. So press your hands into the ground, tuck your hips under, and then you can release those hips again. You'll feel more happen in the inner part of your hips or your groin. And then one more little stretch here. So take your fingertips and I want you to walk them further away. And now you're up on those fingertips. But again, we're gonna try to get that chest as close as you can to the ground. So we're getting that groin stretch. We're getting a big stretch through our chest and our shoulder. Reach for the floor. And then we are gonna come onto our forearms. So you can actually lengthen your legs out. You're gonna get those hips on the ground and I want you to press up. So keep your hips down. Press those forearms into the ground. We're getting a big arch through our back. Squeeze your glutes here. That's gonna take some of that pressure off of your low back. So we are moving through the spine, but it shouldn't be hurting that back. And if you're ready to get a little more into this, we're gonna move to our hands. Feel free to stay on your forearms, but you're gonna put your hands down for those of you who are ready and press straight up. little bit more range through that back. Squeeze your glutes here, make sure you're squeezing them. And then press back up onto your knees. We're gonna move into a hip opener. So I want that right foot forward. We're gonna keep our left knee on the ground, but we're gonna stretch forward into this big stretch. I've got my hands on the inside of my foot. So the inside of that right foot, my hand is there, nice and low. Left knee is on the ground. I'm reaching forward into this stretch. So I'm trying to push this right knee forward, really getting deep into those hips. Now I'm gonna get you to lift that right arm up. So I'm twisting towards the side that's forward, pushing that left knee into the ground and really sinking into those hips while I twist. Bring your right hand back down and we'll switch here. So left foot is forward this time, right knee is still on the ground, but shift that weight forward, big stretch into that right hip. Try to bring your left knee forward. So I'm shifting forward, but keep that right knee on the ground. And then from here, lift your left arm up. So we're twisting towards that front leg. Continue to press that weight forward. Continue to get that hip stretch while we twist through our spine. Bring your left hand back down. And we're gonna return to our bum. We're turning this into a seated glute stretch. So I want you to cross your right leg over. Your left leg is straight. Hug that knee in towards your opposite shoulder. So this is my right knee into my left shoulder. I want you to sit up tall and you're gonna twist towards that right side. So this is one of those exercises. You can sit here and mindlessly not get much out of it, but if you sit up tall, press that right knee into your left shoulder and really twist towards that right side, you're gonna get a lot going through your spine, a lot going through your glute, and that is exactly what we want. So then from here, we will switch legs. So extend that right leg. You're gonna bend the left. And we're doing the same thing. So we're gonna hug that left knee. So left knee, you're trying to pull it towards your right shoulder, and now I'm twisting towards the left. Sit up tall here. Be really mindful here. Pull that knee in, sit up tall. So tall, lengthened spine, twist to the left. And you can release that. Next up, bend both knees. I want you to put your hands just behind your hips. And you're gonna drop one knee to one side. So I'm trying to get that knee as close as I can to the ground. Then I'll switch sides and do the left. So we're just alternating sides. The more range of motion, the better. So really work at trying to get that leg as close as it can. You are moving slowly through this, so you don't have to rush this. We're gonna hit one more each side before we put it together, kind of like a butterfly. So from here, I want you to open both knees at the same time. Bring them back together. Open again, still sitting tall. Just one more. Excellent. Let's turn your fingers forward. We're gonna be in almost a crab position here. So I'm gonna have you lift your bum off the ground. And now we're gonna really try to push your hands into the ground. So I'm pushing my shoulders down. But then I'm gonna circle through them. So watch how I'm pressing down, and then I'm going to allow my body to sink so I can circle my shoulders. I'm circling them forward in this position. One more forward circle. Now we're gonna reverse it, and we're gonna circle back. So we're lifting our bum as we press the hands into the floor and press the shoulders away from our ears. One more here. Hold your hips up, because we're gonna move it into our true crab. I'm gonna have you lift your hips. We're gonna get much more of a big stretch down the front of your shoulders, maybe even into your biceps. Squeeze your glutes here. And then release. From here, I'll get you on your knees. So we're gonna do a kneeling side bend. So you're gonna take your right arm, reach it right up as high as you can, and take that left arm and try to reach for the floor. So lots of lengthening right here through that side. Bring that right arm down, and we're gonna switch. So now our right arm points towards the floor, left arm is up overhead. I'm trying to reach the floor with that right side. Big side bend here. We'll do one more each side. So right side comes up. Switch here, left side. And to finish this series today, I want you all the way up on your feet. Shoulder blades down and back. You're gonna take those hands out to the side, so a big stretch out. So I'm stretching those fingertips wide, arms out wide. I want you to stretch all the way overhead. Try not to arch your back. Big overhead stretch. Try to reach those fingers as high as you can. And then I want you to fall forward. So here's where we're gonna round our spine. Round, round, round as you come down. So you're gonna move it into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Press those heels into the ground. You can shift your weight from side to side. Tuck your tailbone under, roll up your spine. I want you to think one vertebrae at a time. And we're gonna do this one more time. So again, shoulder blades are down. Fingertips are spread out. I want you to reach as far as you can, like you're lengthening your arms wider than you ever thought possible. They're longer than you thought possible as you bring them up overhead. Try not to arch your back here. We're just reaching straight up as tall as you can. Big stretch up. As you roll forward, here's where you can round the spine as we come forward. Once you get those hands on the floor, here's where you can start to straighten out your spine. Think about getting your chest a little closer to your thighs. If you want, shift your weight from one foot to the other. This is a little extra hamstring stretch. A little stretch through your back. Hang out in the center for one more second here, one more breath. And then last but not least, we'll roll up your spine, one vertebrae at a time. So tuck that tailbone under, move through that lower back, then the middle back, finish with your upper back, and finally those shoulders, give them a little roll, and let me know how your body feels after that. Have an awesome rest of your day.